Question 2. The functions f and g are defined by f of x is equal to 7 minus 2x squared for x in the real numbers, and g of x is 3x over 5x minus 1 for x in the real numbers, and of course x cannot equal 1/5 in this case. Part A, state the range of f. Now, I like to think of domain and range as my axes. The x-axis is the domain of values which can go into my function, and on my y-axis I will see the range of values that I can get out. So I'd like to start with a sketch of 7 minus 2x squared. Now, a negative x squared we know to be this n-shaped parabola, because when x is equal to 0, this y value is 7, I know that the maximum value is going to be 7, and so I can do quite a quick sketch of this equation. Now, looking at this, I know that this parabola will go on to negative infinity. This means that this function will have a range of less than and equal to 7. Part B, I want to find gf 1.8. So this is composite functions. So 1.8 gets put into the function of f, and then that result gets put into the function g. So I'm starting with my f of x, which is 7 minus 2x squared. Putting 1.8 into this gives me an f of 1.8 value of 7 minus 2 lots of 1.8 squared, which is 0.52. This 0.52 now I want to put in my g of x function. So my g of x is 3x over 5x minus 1. Therefore, g of 0.52 is equal to 3 lots of 0.52 over 5 lots of 0.52 minus 1, which evaluates to 0.975. And so gf 1.8 is 0.975. Part C, I want to find the inverse function of g. Now, in order to find the inverse function of g, I typically would start by writing my g of x as y. And the reason I do this is that it's just simpler for rearranging. I want to get x in terms of y. So multiplying both sides up by 5x minus 1. So I'll get 5xy minus y is equal to 3x. Now subtracting 3x from both sides and adding y to both sides gives me 5xy minus 3x is equal to y. I can now take out a factor of x. So I've got x lots of 5y minus 3 is equal to y. I can now divide by the 5y minus 3 to give me x is equal to y over 5y minus 3. And now I have my x in terms of y. I can write my x as the inverse function g of x, and then put x's back in place of my y's. So my inverse function is x over 5x minus 3.